This white wall is making me look very tanned. Or is it just dirt? It could very well just be dirt. So I thought I would explain a little bit about what I spent a good 7 weeks of my time doing while I was here in June and July. I obviously was doing data collection and doing field work, but I was also involved with a conservation charity called Operation Wallacea, and I was a staff member with them for the time that their expedition was running here in Mariorano. It was a dissertation supervisor to 3 amazing students who were doing their undergraduate and master's dissertations on the shafakas here. So they were working alongside me with collecting data and doing smaller versions of my bigger project. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's take a trip to what feels like a lifetime ago, to late 2017, early 2018, when I was doing my master's degree. And even before I started doing my master's, I decided that what project I wanted to do for my thesis. And I knew that I wanted to come to Madagascar and I wanted to work with the lemurs. And so in order to do that, I ended up working with and coming on expedition with Operation Wallacea. And so in the summer of 2018, I spent 6 weeks here in Mariorano at this very site, collecting data for my master's dissertation. It was a lot of things, one of the things being pretty much life-changing. Now that I'm sort of at this stage, I know that trip changed sort of the rest, at least the next 10 years of my life. I'm already 5 years from then, and it's probably still going to continue to change my life. So I did that in 2018 and I had the best time. At the time, 6 weeks felt like a lifetime. And now, as I sit here 3 months into a 5-month field season, I'm fully aware that 6 weeks is such a short amount of time. But at the time, that felt like a really long time. But it was great. I made great friends. I met incredible people. I met my current PhD supervisor and current lab mates. Met multiple people that I kept in contact with from loads of different countries, in Europe, people from Canada, people from Australia, people here from Madagascar. So it was incredible, and I knew that I would want to go back again. So in 2019, I came back again as a volunteer coordinator. I think I've talked about this a little bit already, but I came back as a volunteer coordinator. So essentially I worked with the school groups that come on these expeditions, and each week I would be assigned a school group that was on the expedition, and I would go with them to the different camps. I would go on surveys with them. I would help support them while they were here. If they had any questions, had any issues, anything like that, I would be there. So I did that in 2019, and then again had the best time, met more incredible people, we connected with some of the same people that I'd met the previous year. And then COVID happened and the expedition didn't continue again for the next couple of years. And then in, late 2020, early 2021, I applied for and then got offered a place at University of Toronto for my PhD. And when I started, my supervisor was like, you can go anywhere, you can do any project you want, as long as it's feasible, you can study any species, go anywhere, it's up to you. But I knew that I wanted to come back here. I wanted to come back to Mariorano, and I wanted to work with the Shafakas. So I did, and I am. The expedition with Operation Wallacea usually comes here every year and has done since, I think, 2010. But for 2020, 2021 and 2022, they didn't come because of COVID. In 2022, so last summer, I did come here to this very site in Mariorano, the site where the expedition usually comes to, and I was here for 3 months. And just after that time, when I got home, I got asked by the then country manager for the Madagascar project of Operation Wallacea to be a dissertation supervisor for them, for the Shafaka project. So essentially what Operation Wallacea runs on having school students, research assistants, which are usually university students, and dissertation students. So the school students just come for a week or 2 weeks in country at different sites. Research assistants can come from anywhere from sort of 1 week up to 6 weeks, and then dissertation students here at this site come generally for 6 weeks for the whole time. So the dissertation students are a mixture of undergraduates, postgraduates, anybody that is doing some form of thesis or dissertation. So I was asked to be the supervisor for the Shafaka project that they have running, which was the project that I originally did in 2018. So it was a real full circle moment for me, but I obviously said yes. I was going to be here anyway. I really wanted to be able to support students again and to sort of feed back into the system that helped me. And my then field supervisor for here, she changed a lot of things for me. She has been a really good friend, a really good mentor, and I really wanted to try and be I could never be as close to how amazing she was for me, but I wanted to try and be that support for another person that was looking to do something like this in the future. So I said yes. And so I got here to this site on the 2nd of June, I think it was, and the expedition staff arrived on the 13th of June. We had about a week, just under, to set up the site and to get everything ready for the students to arrive. And then on the 18th of June, this first lot of research assistants and the dissertation students arrived. So for the next 6 weeks, I was working with these incredible students, 2 undergraduates from the UK and 1 postgraduate from Florida. And they came out on survey with us every day, collecting data for both their projects and inadvertently for sort of the bigger project that's my PhD dissertation. We also did loads of other incredible things at the same time. Got to take a trip to the beach, the most incredible beach that probably only a handful of people have ever really stepped foot on, which was just breathtaking. Went on multiple different walks, saw so many other wildlife, because the expedition doesn't just have sort of primatologists, there's herpetologists, botanists, entomologists, ornithologists, so people that study birds, people that study herps, so lizards, snakes, people that study plants, trees, people that study spiders, butterflies, ants, you name it. There's people for everything. So every day was something new. And similar to in 2018 and 2019, I made incredible friends and met some incredible people. Spending that large amount of time with people in a situation like this, you get incredibly close with people in a way that you wouldn't necessarily at home unless you'd been friends with them for an extreme long time. an extreme amount of time. Pretty sure I'm going to now insert a clip of me tearily talking about the moment that they all left. So today, or this morning, has been incredibly sad and happy and all of the emotions. I'm trying really hard not to cry because I don't want this to be just me crying. Oh, and there's a shafaka in the tree. Yeah, today has been a lot of things because I am still here at camp in Mariorano with 2 assistants that I have with me, Hani and Silvana. But we said goodbye this morning to all of the Malagasy science staff and all of the Western Vaza staff. So, and then yesterday we said goodbye to all of the research assistants and dissertation students. So it's been 2 days of a lot of emotional goodbyes. Particularly today has been very sad because I just spent the past 7 weeks-ish in the middle of nowhere with little to no phone signal, no connection to the internet. I just spent 7 weeks with these people, getting to know them and making some incredible friends. And then I've just had to say goodbye to them, and for many of them I don't know when I'm going to see them again. Some I'm hoping might be back next year, when I'm hopefully going to be also part of the expedition again next year. And others I may see back in the UK. I might see them in Canada because there was quite a lot of Canadian people here. Or others I may never see again. I don't know. You don't know when your paths are going to cross with people. But I just wanted to quickly sort of talk about kind of a follow-up from when I spoke quite a bit about mental health in the field. This is another aspect of fieldwork mental health that's really difficult to overcome, is particularly on expeditions like this, you get thrown into a situation with people that you've never met before. They're from all different parts of the world, all different cultures, and you've never met them. You know obviously that you have something in common because you're all here for one reason. So you know that some of your maybe morals and ethics and sort of values align with some things, but you're thrown into this situation, this really intense situation with people, and you get incredibly close with these people and you share a lot with them. I mean, they see you in situations that in the normal world people wouldn't see you in, and then you form incredible bonds with people, and then at the end of the expedition they leave, you leave, or you stay, or they stay, and you part, and that's it, it's over. And that group of people will never all be in the same place again, and it's really hard. And that happens a lot with fieldwork, and it's going to happen to me again when I leave Mariorano and I leave behind the fieldwork family that I create here. So everybody left the students all left on the 28th of July, the staff all left on the 29th of July, and then it was just me and the remaining Shafaka team, so that are here at the site, staying for another 3 months at that time to continue to collect data. And it was very weird as soon as they left. It's very quiet, very different, but also nice. It is nice when it's quieter. Life's a little bit simpler, but it's also quieter, which isn't always a good thing. But yeah, so that's what I did for that sort of 7 weeks. So my role was to support the students. So they, prior to coming on the expedition, they sent me all proposals of what they wanted their projects to be. I helped them edit and sort of refine those proposals to get them to be more in line with what's doable and what's practical, but also what is already being done on this project. But each of them ended up having separate projects, all collecting the same data, but all three looking at separate things. So I helped with the creation of their projects, working with them to create their projects. They wrote their proposals, they wrote their research questions. I just sort of helped them along the way. And then when they got here, my role of supporting them in that way continued, but then they also would go out on survey with us every day and would collect their data and the data with us. Pretty much what I did for 7 weeks. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to do it again next year. It was hard, but it was incredibly fun and rewarding, and I definitely would want to do it again. So hopefully I get asked again, who knows. But it was a very weird full circle moment for me, because this was the exact flip of a position that I was in 2018, and then all of a sudden I was the person that was the supervisor, that was answering the questions, that was helping and supporting, which was both terrifying and really grounding. If you have any questions about Operation Wallacea or about this sort of role and doing it alongside your data collection, which isn't easy, it is stressful, but it is equally as rewarding, then please put some questions in the comments or reach out to me. And if there's anything that I sort of glanced over in this that you would like me to talk about a little bit more, then just let me know. And I'm going to attempt to, at the end of this, insert some pictures and videos of the time during Operation Wallacea being here and the things that we did and the places that we went to, over some cute music, because who doesn't love that? Bye. Oh no, that's a video! there was a bug on me. A weird bug.